Hey, SKOL Vikings Nation. What's up, you purple-blooded warriors? Can you believe it? We just stormed Ford Field and ripped out a heart-stopping 27-24 upset over those smug Lions. Yeah, the same ones who thought they owned the NFC North. I'm your die-hard Vikings fan, screaming from the rooftops like it's Super Bowl Eve. And today on Vikings News, we're breaking down every gritty detail of this epic grind. Picture this. J.J. McCarthy slinging dimes under pressure, our O-line holding firm like a Viking shield wall, and a defense that turned Jared Goff into a jittery mess. But hold up, did we really pull this off with contributions from every phase? Stick around, because I'm about to fire you up with the snap counts, PFF grades, and those game-changing moments that'll have you pounding your chest. Who's ready to relive the chaos? Drop a SKOL in the comments if you're as hyped as I am. Our offense came out swinging like Thor's hammer. Folks, 62 snaps of pure purple pride against a Lions D that couldn't touch us early. J.J. McCarthy, our golden boy, was under center for every single one, threading needles to Justin Jefferson on 59 snaps, who torched him for that 72.8 PFF grade, hauling in contested catches like it was nothing. And don't get me started on Aaron Jones in the first half. He was a beast on 26 snaps, posting a scorching 76.6 grade before that shoulder tweak sidelined him. But word is it's not serious, and he'll be back to bulldoze Baltimore next week. The whole line, Darrisaw, O'Neal, Fries, Jackson, and Brandel, went the full distance without missing a beat, staying healthy through 60-plus snaps and paving lanes that had the Lions scrambling. What a sight, seeing that trench warfare pay off with balanced attacks. Tell me, Vikings fans, does this feel like the turning point we've been waiting for? But let's build the suspense here. While Jones lit it up before exiting, Jordan Mason stepped in for 37 snaps and kept the chains moving. Even if his PFF dipped a bit, he's got that fire we need in the backfield depth. TJ Hawkinson was a mismatch nightmare on 48 snaps, blocking like a madman and snagging key grabs, right behind Jefferson in the grades. And shout out to the tight end crew. Without Josh Oliver or CJ Ham, Nick Vannett and Ben Urosek filled in as run blockers on 27 and 17 snaps, respectively, and they didn't flinch, turning potential weaknesses into strengths. Jordan Addison logged 57 snaps, hauling in daggers that kept Detroit's secondary honest, while Jalen Nailor mixed in 33 for those explosive WR3 sparks. This wasn't just a win, it was a statement. Our offense clicked like a well-oiled longship. Who's your unsung hero from this group? Hit the comments and let's debate. Teasing you a little more before we hit the defense. Adam Thielen saw just 4 snaps, a season low, and only 24 total over the last 3 games. Tough break, but it shows how deep we're rolling now. That minimal usage freed up routes for the young guns, and man, did it pay dividends in keeping McCarthy's protection tight. Overall, those top PFF marks, Jones at 76.6, Jefferson at 72.8, Brandel at 68.0 scream efficiency, with Darrisaw's 65.7 anchoring the edge like the all-pro he is. McCarthy himself clocked a solid 63.5, just missing the top 5, but hey, leading us to victory in a hostile dome. That's Rookie of the Year talk right there. Addison and Hawkinson trailed close behind, proving this passing attack is loaded. Fans, if you're not buzzing yet, you will be, because our D turned this into a nail-biter for the ages. Ready to hear how Flores schemed up Goff's nightmare? Shifting gears to the trenches where wars are won, our defensive line was a fortress on those 64 snaps. Jalen Redmond owned 58, a whopping 91% clip, outshining Pro Bowlers Jonathan Allen on 51 and Javon Hargrave on 39, proving he's the DT1 we didn't know we needed. Jonathan Greenid terrorized from the OLB spot with 62 snaps, sacking and pressuring like a demon, while Andrew Van Ginkel's return lit a fire, 39 snaps of game-changing chaos that had the Lions' O-line in panic mode. Blake Cashman was everywhere at LB with all 64 snaps, earning that insane 90.8 PFF by stuffing runs and dropping into coverage like a chess master. Harrison Smith and Josh Metellus locked down the secondary with full snaps too, tackling like pros and forcing Goff into those third and longs. This unit bent but never broke. Tell me, does Redmond's emergence have you dreaming of playoff runs? Building that defensive drama. Eric Wilson flew under the radar but balled out on 56 snaps, racking up 6 pressures and 2 sacks despite a 63.5 PFF dinged by a couple missed tackles. Watch the tape, though, he was a heat-seeking missile everywhere, turning potential gains into team stops. Byron Murphy Jr. and Isaiah Rogers held the corners with 64 and 61 snaps, battling Amon-Ra St. Brown toe-to-toe, while Fabian Moreau stepped up as CB3 for 24 snaps in place of the injured Jeff Okuda, posting a stellar 73.4 grade with sticky coverage. Dallas Turner saw a season-low 14 snaps with Van Ginkel back, but Ivan Pace Jr. flashed as a blitzer on 13, reminding us he's a rotational beast. And Theo Jackson mopped up 16 snaps at safety, keeping things fresh. Flores blitz packages had Detroit gassed. What a masterclass. Vikings fam, who's your DMVP pick? Now, let's crank the intensity. Those top defensive PFFs tell the tale. Cashman at 90.8 was a one-man wrecking crew in run D coverage and those off-ball blitzes that fooled. Goff silly. Hargraves 81.4 on 39 snaps clogged lanes like quicksand, teaming with Van Ginkel's 75.1 to suffocate the Lions' ground game, holding him to scraps. Moreau's 73.4 and Smith's 67.4 were lockdown gold, with Smith snagging picks in coverage and Moreau shedding blocks like a vet. Wilson, even at 63.5, looked like a star. Those sacks were vintage Vikings pressure. Lower marks hit Redmond, Rogers, Murphy, and Jackson, but context matters. They faced an elite offense and still forced turnovers and field goals. This D made Jared Goff throw 284 yards for 2 scores but coughed up the lead late. Heartbreaker, but oh so proud. What adjustment would you make next week? Zooming in on the special teams spark that sealed it, Levi Drake Rodriguez's block on that late field goal attempt was pure magic, flipping momentum when the Lions smelled blood. That play, on just 11 snaps, turned a potential tie into our 27-24 dagger, giving McCarthy the ball back to ice it with that 3rd and 5 to Naylor. Elijah Williams saw 4 snaps there too, mixing in fresh legs for coverage units. Without C.J. Ham and Josh Oliver, our gunners like Metellus and Ward stepped up big on returns, pinning Detroit deep early. And that 61-yard kickoff return by Miles Price set up our first TD drive. Special teams weren't just contributors. They were co-MVPs. SKOL to the unsung heroes. Fans, ever seen a block like Rodriguez's? Share your wildest ST memories below. Teasing the bigger picture. Offensively, without Ham and Oliver, Vanett and Eurosex blocking on 27 and 17 snaps was clutch. Solid PFFs there, turning short yardage into first downs and keeping Jones and Mason churning. Mason's 37 snaps showed grit despite a lower grade above 55, spelling Jones perfectly before the injury scare. Fries held at 62 snaps with a grade over 55. But that RT battle with Aiden Hutchinson? Epic. O'Neal matched him snap for snap, no sacks allowed. Jefferson's 59 snaps were electric. That one-handed grab tying it early, 72.8 grade doesn't lie. This depth is why we upset him. Adapt or die, and we thrived. Who's next on the injury watch for you? Diving deeper into McCarthy's command. 62 snaps, 63.5 PFF. Fair grade for a guy who hit Hawkinson for that 7-yard score to grab a 14-7 lead in the first. He spread the ball, converting 3rd downs to Addison and Naylor, and that ice-it completion? Clutch under Flores pressure looks bleeding over. The Lions sacked him 9 times, but he bounced up, leading 3 scoring drives. Compared to Goff's rough day, 5 sacks, jittery throws, JJ looked like the steady hand. Brandle's 68.0 at center called protections that kept us clean. Vikings news alert. This rookie's got ice in his veins. What was your favorite McCarthy throw? Comment now. Now, the LB core that owned the night. Cashman and Wilson's combo was poetry, 64 and 56 snaps, with Cashman's 90.8 run D grade stuffing Gibbs for minimal yards. Wilson blitzed like a closer, 2 sacks on Goff, even if misses dinged him to 63.5. He forced those team tackles that saved yards. Pace Jr.'s 13 snaps as blitzer? Electric sub-package energy. Van Ginkel's 39 snaps changed schemes. Rising from his return limit. Expect more versus Baltimore. This group's design pressures had Detroit's O-line guessing, converting 3rd and longs into punts. Flores is a wizard. Diehards. Does this LB room scare you for the playoffs? Highlighting the secondary stand, Metellus and Smith's full 64 snaps were lockdown, Smith 67.4 in coverage forced incompletions, while Metellus tackles limited YAC. Murphy's 64 at CB1 battled Williams deep. Rogers 61 held Street Brown in check. Moreau's vet savvy on 24 snaps as CB3, 73.4 gold, stepping up sans Okuda. Theo Jackson's 16 mop-up snaps kept legs fresh. They allowed 143 air yards on 56% completion. Elite, but that late Williams bomb for 6. Gut punch. Still coverage grades soared. Who's your shutdown corner pick? Offensive weapons unpacked. Jefferson and Addison's 59 and 57 snaps were fireworks. Jefferson's grade led. Addison's conversions kept drives alive. Hawkinson's 48 snaps blocking and catching. Mismatch City, that TD grab pure poetry. Naylor's 33 snaps sparked WR3 magic. Thielen's 4 a nod to youth movement. Jones' 26 pre-injury were dominant. Mason's 37 gritty relief. Eurosec's 17 as blocker? Rookie promise. This spread attack averaged over 4 yards per snap. Efficient fire. Fans, Jefferson or Addison for offensive player of the game. Defensive front feast. Redmond's 58 snaps as DT1. 91% dominance over Allen and Hargrave. Clogging runs. Hargrave's 39 with 81.4 grade was vintage pressures galore. Allen's 51 impacted inside. Greenid's 62 OLB edge bent QBs. Rodriguez's 11 DT snaps included that game-sealing block. Special. Elijah Williams' 4 were rotational depth. They held Lions to 65 rush yards. Stuffed. Lower grades for Redmond? Tape says effort monster. This line's the heartbeat SKOL. Rookie ripples. McCarthy's 63.5 fair for poise. Turner's low 14 with Van Ginkel back. Smart rotation. Eurosec's 17 TE snaps solid blocking. Naylor's 33 WR pops. Rodriguez's block heroics on minimal DT / St. Pace's blitz flashes. These kids stepped up in a road upset. Future bright. What's your bold prediction for Turner's snaps next? Wrapping the grades glory. Offense's top 5. Jones 76.6. Jefferson 72.8. Brandel 68.0. Jackson 67.4. Darisaw 65.7. Trench and weapons harmony. Defense. Cashman 90.8. Hargrave 81.4. Van Ginkel 75.1. Moreau 73.4. Smith 67.4. Pressure and coverage kings. Even lows above 55 show balance. This all-phase effort. Vikings DNA. Who's grading this win an A+? Final roar. Fam. What a thriller 27-24. Contributions everywhere. From McCarthy's grit to Cashman's dominance. Jones dodged major injury. Van Ginkel's back. Redmond's a star. Heading to Baltimore pumped. If this fired you up, smash that like button. Drop your hot takes and comments. What's our next upset? Subscribe for more Vikings news breakdowns and share with your SKOL squad. Let's keep the purple wave rolling. Horns up. SKOL Vikings.